Today, in the Chokeslam Wrestling Report Mother's Day edition, we're going to be talking about WWE World Heavyweight Championship Tournament Finals and how predictable we probably knew who was going to end up in the finals. Also, we're going to be talking a little bit about Backlash and what happened at Backlash and my opinion on that. Plus, we're going to be talking a little bit about Kenny Omega and his match with John Moxley on the steel cage and how Don Callis turned on him. But we already knew this was going to happen. So stick around and stay tuned for the Chokeslam Wrestling Report.
We came out here to tell you to your face, you can't get ready for us. No, sir.
I feel like I'm losing my mind. Is everybody in the world blind? Please, Lord, give me a sign, a sign.
I wanna be the greatest. Everybody on the fake shit. I look around and feel like everybody is the fakest. I make this every day and I'm impatient, hoping one day I blow up from the basement. Statement, the top is so vacant. I don't hear shit that I think is amazing. Waiting.
Welcome to another episode of the Chokeslam Wrestling Report. I am your host, the infamous Ultimate One from New York City. I know usually I do these live videos on Saturday, but it's been a crazy week and it was my birthday week, so I was not really going to do a podcast today, and I didn't really announce that I was going to go live today, but we're live on Facebook, we're live on YouTube, and we're going to be talking a little bit of this World Heavyweight Championship tournament that we pretty much, if we could go there, we pretty much kind of predicted who will be in the finals. Now, of course, WWE wants you to think that you can't tell who's going to win, but for weeks we pretty much knew who was going to win it. I mean, we thought people were saying, "Oh, Cody Rhodes should win the World Heavyweight Championship," but I kept saying that don't make no damn sense, because at the end of the day, if that is to happen, then that means that you're giving a consolation prize to Cody Rhodes for losing to Roman Reigns at WrestleMania. So you're going to give him the the consolation prize, because that's the way I'm calling this title, because it makes no sense and whatnot to even bring this World Heavyweight Championship. But then again, they already have made this belt prior to WrestleMania. But my guess at that time was, well, that means that both world titles that Roman Reigns walks around with, the Universal and the World Heavyweight, were going to be eliminated. They were not going to be around anymore. And so at the end of the day, that's what I thought, that's what was going to happen, but that didn't happen. As we know, Cody Rhodes lost the belt, and then all of a sudden Triple H came out with we're doing the World Heavyweight title because Roman Reigns is going to defend the belt whenever he wants. So pretty much what you're saying is Roman does whatever he wants when he defends the belt. Again, he hasn't defended the belt for over 30 plus days. Let's be real. You can't call somebody the greatest world champion in the world in almost 1,000 days. March 27 makes 1,000 days, and yet he only defended the belt 30 times. So, again, I don't want to hear nothing. I don't want to hear about how great Roman Reigns is, whatever. I could give him this much, and that is that I give him the fact that he has the best storyline going on in WWE, and they're still going with that. But the World Heavyweight title tournament, we already knew, and this was predictable too on Monday when they mentioned about Cody being part of a three-way uh, title tournament, and he was involved. We knew that Brock Lesnar was going to get him back for losing at for beating him at Backlash, which was a stupid way for them to do it. What's up, Justin Time? Thank you for showing up and whatnot. But again, I asked myself, why in the world did they put Cody Rhodes in this three-way tournament? We already knew that Brock Lesnar was going to pop out of nowhere and whatnot, and then they added the Miz. Why is the Miz anywhere in the title picture? This man shouldn't even be nowhere in the title picture. You know what I'm saying? And they added him in the mix and whatnot. So we knew that Cody was not going to win the title, because they still, remember, Cody is still in that storyline. Finish the story. They're using his father's, uh, uh, story of hard times. Remember that. I want you to remember that. And if you guys don't know what I'm talking about, hard time, Cody Rhodes' father used to always talk about hard time. He hit the famous hard time promo ever. Dusty Rhodes did the most famous promo ever about hard time. How's the working man, the blue collar man, busts his butt and whatnot, and then they give him a gold watch after 25 years in the business. So this is the same thing they're doing with Cody. So Cody wasn't gonna win it. Then they added they added Finn Balor, even though he is part of the Raw roster. But then they added on the other match, Austin Theory was involved. I don't know why it wasn't involved in this. They had Edge involved. They had SmackDown people involved. So anyway, to make everything clear and make it quick here, I don't want to stay all day talking about this, was the fact that they added SmackDown guys to a World Heavyweight Championship that is exclusive to Raw. Now, it's predictable again. It was very predictable. We knew Seth Rollins was going to win this. We knew Seth Rollins was going to win it for Raw because they were mentioning it to it 2 weeks before the damn tournament started. Okay, especially when Paul Heyman was in the ring and whatnot, and Seth Rollins came out, and he was a freaking this and freaking that. He wanted to, that Roman Reigns could win the title, but he can't because he's exclusive to SmackDown. Again, the word exclusive was used, but yet WWE decided to do a 3-way tournament on the SmackDown side. And out of all that, who popped out? It wasn't Bobby Lashley. It was AJ Styles. Prediction. I already knew AJ Styles was going to win that and won on that side because, first of all, he's part of the OC. But now I can tell you this much. As it's this Monday coming up, we know who is going, who's going to win it? It's going to be Seth Rollins. It's not going to be AJ Styles for the simple fact that AJ Styles is now exclusive to SmackDown. So what you're telling me is that AJ Styles was already in Raw, so he's going to win the world title, and then they're going to go and take AJ out of SmackDown, where his boys are over there, the Good Brothers, and go to Raw. That makes no sense. So they try to insult people's intelligence, and yes, they're gonna the way they introduce the World Heavyweight Title, which is true, Justin, and they continue to make Cody lose, the absolute match. We knew that. I mean, we knew that he was not gonna win that. I mean, technically, they said that he lost his first match, but technically, he didn't get pinned. The Miz got pinned. If I'm correct, Miz got pinned. He just happens to get beat up by Cody outside. Not Cody, by Brock outside. So, I mean, it doesn't make no sense. Again, it doesn't make. We already know who's going to win that. We know that it's going to be Mr. Seth Rollins. Seth freaking Rollins is going to win the world title. Also, they also mentioned Night of Champions, which I kind of like this. Again, they're still continuing on with this bloodline storyline, which I don't know if they're going to break it up, but now it looks like Solo Sikoa is being used by Roman Reigns to go against his brothers. In Backlash, we saw them, Solo Sikoa and the Usos team up, and we'll talk about that when we get to the Backlash part. But the crazy part about it is now they're going to have Solo Sikoa and Roman Reigns go against Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens for the World Unified Tag Team titles. I can see what's going to happen here. Most likely, the Usos are going to cost Roman Reigns and Solo Sikoa the tag team titles, and there's going to be the blow up, which is going to be that after the Night of Champions. But it's funny how they're doing this Night of Champions on the same weekend that AEW is doing the Double or Nothing, which we're going to be talking about that also. As I learned, the WWE all of a sudden now wants to do all these holidays, pay-per-view or PLE, they're called premium live events. It's not pay-per-view anymore, it's premium live events. They want to do this on the holidays and all that. They're desperate because they know they have done nothing. This whole brand split stuff is bullcrap. They've been, and I said it. The brand split is nothing because you saw it. They did this draft for nothing because then they ended up going. Now they did this tournament. You had SmackDown guys are going to wrestle. Now they're going to wrestle Raw guys. So it's not really. Anyway, but you feel me what I'm saying about that on that part. So let's go to Backlash. Now Backlash, was a decent was a very decent um show, but what was really caught me off guard was the first match of the night, and the first match of the night was Bianca Belair versus Io Sky, and how the fans over there in Puerto Rico were booing Bianca Belair. Now, though Bianca Belair ended up winning the match because Damage Control cost Io Sky the match because the interference, and it looks like Io Sky may end up breaking up with Damage Control and whatnot. We saw that, but you saw how people already in Puerto Rico. Now they're gonna come and tell me that people in Puerto Rico don't know of wrestling. When you saw that crowd out there was amazing, and me being Puerto Rican myself from Puerto Rican descent parents, it was a pleasure seeing them enjoying that in Puerto Rico. But the funny thing is that you saw people bowing. Now, this past week, this Monday, we saw, um, not Monday, I'm sorry, Friday, we saw Oscar throw the green mist on Bianca Belair. They're doing this John Cena bullcrap because they know people are getting tired of Bianca Belair. Belair has had this belt since last year and whatnot, and Oscar was supposed to win the belt. And we know Oscar was the favorite at WrestleMania to win the belt, but WWE decided no, Oscar can't get the belt. No, no. And now they're running it again. The Io Sky, I'm sure that they didn't expected that type of reaction from Io Sky and whatnot. So yeah, we could probably see Bianca Belair turning heel, but WWE probably doesn't want to do that because because of the kids, and Bianca Belair is a big the same bullcrap they usually do. And we also saw another match we saw here was the Seth Rollins versus Omos. That match was a joke. Omos, they need to stop wasting their time with this man. This man, I don't care how big, how tall, whatever. He is not. I mean, Great Khali is worse than him. So imagine that. Great Khali is way worse than him because Great Khali had no wrestling skill. Omos don't have nothing but strength, and that's it. He has no wrestling skill. He's not the next Big Show. He's not the next Andre the Giant. This guy McMahon keeps pushing him. I don't know for what, because hasn't won a match, and when it counts, I don't want to hear that the squash matches he beats up two guys at one time and all that. No, squash matches don't mean crap. Okay, when you come to he lost to Braun Strowman, then he lost to Brock Lesnar, then he lost to Seth Rollins, and you're still trying to push him. Come on, stop. That match should have never happened at Backlash. Let me put it that way. Another match that was real cool, and I think it was the nicest thing that I could probably see was the Selena Vega in her hometown, or actually in her country, representing Puerto Rico, and the ovation that the people gave her in San Juan, Puerto Rico, was amazing. She broke down, and it was cool to see Rhea Ripley give her the world title shot, even though that was WWE probably gave her that world title shot in her hometown and her home crowd. And it was very emotional. She got very emotional in the ring. And even though Rhea Ripley beat her, I mean, what did you expect? But Rhea Ripley beat her. The ovation she got after that match was still being watched through Instagram, especially when it comes to the Puerto Rico either profiles or people that has to do anything with Puerto Rico. It was the most coolest thing I seen, and I'm not a big Selena Vega fan, but I love the fact that they gave her that respect, and that I appreciate what WWE did there, and it was real cool. Another match that was kind of cool was Austin Theory versus Bobby Lashley versus Bronson Reed. And I want to excuse myself because I said that they weren't doing nothing with Bronson Reed. I did not know that he was in this program against Austin Theory, but Austin Theory is still the future of the business, and he should be keeping that United States Championship, even though I still question why Austin Theory was part of this World Heavyweight Title tournament when the man already has a title. Speaking of titles, or not actually no title actually. Let me see what else. We had the Bad Bunny versus Damian Priest. which was real good. That was the best match of the night. Believe it or not, it was the best match of the night. Even though Bad Bunny took a lot of bumps, including a bump where he went through a table. I mean, he took a lot of bumps. I got to give him that. And the man, and he was jacked. His entrance. Let me tell you something. I talk about it and I still get excited. His entrance was fire. His entrance was lit. When I tell you his entrance was lit, it was lit. The first one, and the guy did not look like he had not been training. The guy looked like he was, he'd been working on that gym. You know what I'm saying? And you could tell that he's been real busy because a couple of nights before that, he was at the Met Gala here in New York City. And then he showed up in Puerto Rico where his music blasted through that arena and the people singing his song. I get goosebumps right now thinking about it. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not big in, especially Hollywood stars or people that is in the show business wrestle in the ring, like Logan Paul. I'm not crazy about that because they're not supposed to be in the ring. But Bad Bunny and Damon Priest stole the show. I could have done without all this Savio Vega. The Carlito entrance was hot. That went on fire. Carlito, coming in and doing his thing. It was hot. But the whole match was the best match of the night. And you can't ask for anything better than that. This should have been the main event instead of the Cody Rhodes and Brock Lesnar. Okay. Then they had the 6-man, which I was talking about the bloodline stuff. We had the 6-man with the Usos and Solo Sikoa against the World Tag Team Champion Sami Zayn, Kevin Owens, and Matt Riddle. We saw Solo Sikoa get the win for the Usos himself, but you can already tell there's a lot of animosity between the brothers and whatnot. We saw one point where Jey Uso uh, was already in the ring, and Solo Sikoa kind of smacked him in the chest for him to come in, tag himself in, and Jey Uso did the same thing. So it's going to be very interesting. That this, and I was saying the Bloodline storyline should be over, but I don't think so. I don't think so. I believe, honestly, that is the best storyline right now. So overall, you know, the 6-man tag was pretty good. It ranked second to me in the whole show and whatnot. Then we had, of course, the Brock Lesnar versus Cody Rhodes. Did it did anything for me? No. Now they are so-called. They say that they plan the blood on Brock Lesnar. That's what I read today. That was already by Fightful Select. That was already planned. That they planned for him to get colored. I don't believe it because if that was the case, then Monday when they show that they would have not black and white it because that's what they put black and white so you can't see the blood. And then they're gonna say, "Oh, but you were saying network stop." This was not planned. They want you to believe that this is planned. This is the same company, the owner of the same company who said that that AEW has this blood and guts and gory stuff. So now they're gonna start doing it. Come on, stop. Stop, 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 stop. I don't believe nothing that WWE, anything that comes out of WWE and whatnot. So that was the situation this week with the WWE, and of course tomorrow we'll see what happens. The finals of the World Heavyweight Championship is on Night of Champions, and already Night of Champions they already announced that match. They announced Roman Reigns teaming up with Solo Sikoa against the World Tag Team Champions Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens. So the 2 matches already signed for those days. The rest of the show, who knows? I don't know what's going to happen, but that is your WWE news also. So AEW. AEW this week was kind of good. Wasn't bad. And the biggest story out of the whole AEW Dynamite this week was what happened in the steel cage match and whatnot with Kenny Omega and John Moxley. The craziest thing that I saw on Wednesday was the when Omega went and hit the V trigger on John Moxley, and Moxley went through the cage. Omega landed balls first on the bar or the bottom bar of the cage, and then his leg got caught in the back, and whatnot. And I thought he broke his leg, to be honest. But I could go through real quick to the stuff that we saw. Of course, we saw Claudio versus Ray Phoenix. It looks now that Claudio could pick any tag team, either John Moxley or Wheeler Yuta, to face the tag team of Ray Phoenix and Penta Cerro Miedo for the Ring of Honor World Tag Team Championships and whatnot. So it looks like they're trying to do this bloodline stuff also. Miro and Thunder Rosa are back, and then Tony Khan made an announcement. We all know what the announcement is, and they're going to be talking about AEW Collision coming up June 17th. And with Miro back and Thunder Rosa back, I could guarantee you those are going to be in. They are going to be in AEW Collision on Saturday. I don't know if they're talking about that Thunder Rosa's back is not ready and all that stuff, but I could see this happening. I'm gonna predict another prediction because I am so freaking good at this. We could see Thunder Rosa joining the Outcast against Britt Baker and Jamie Hayter and Kuroshita, uh, because that is what's going to happen. Remember, Thunder Rosa is not our AEW homegrown, so we definitely going to see that happening. We're going to see Thunder Rosa coming in the ring next week. I said, oh, I'm friends with you, and come in and turn on the Hayter, Britt Baker, and Hiroki Shida. Uh, Again, we saw the. Again, I kind of questioned this week. Why is Lethal and Jeff Jarrett again getting another title shot? Now they're using Mark Briscoe for them to find out how to beat FTR. Now Mark Briscoe is going to be a special referee for the title match between FTR, Jay Lethal, and Jeff Jarrett at Double or Nothing. I don't know what to say about that. But anyway, the AEW International title was on the line this week. We saw Orange Cassidy versus Daniel Garcia. And my question was, why did Daniel Garcia lost to Orange Cassidy? What is it what they're trying to do when it comes to what's his name? Orange Cassidy. Because Daniel Garcia should have won that belt. He should have won the AEW International title belt, even though he is the Pro Wrestling Guerrilla champion, world champion over there for over a year. But still, Garcia loses another match, which I don't agree with at all, at all. Anna Jay versus Julia Hart was in a no holds barred. I believe Julia Hart got hurt when Anna Jay threw chairs on the floor outside, and then kind of. I think she slapjacked her in top of the chairs, and you can see how Julia Hart landed on one of the sticks of the chair, and she was hurt during the match. Even though Julia Hart ended up winning that, the House of Black won the match. Their match against Best Friends in the House of Rules Open Challenge. Pretty good match. It was decent, so nothing to. Kyle Fletcher from Aussie Open attack Orange Cassidy in the back. So it looks like Kyle Fletcher from Aussie Open will be the next challenger for the International Championship. I like that. Guys from Japan comes in, attack Orange Cassidy, and they get a title shot at the International belt. So then we saw Kenny Omega versus John Moxley. That was a crazy match. I mean, these guys, they got glass on it. They put especially that part where Omega hit John Moxley with the V trigger, went through the gate, and nearly broke his leg because his leg got caught in the bottom. But the biggest surprise of the night was Don Callis. Well, not a big surprise because I already knew this was going to happen. I didn't know how. But once Don Callis popped out, I was like, he's going to turn on him because Moxley was going to spike Kenny Omega with the screwdriver, and he stopped him. Don Callis stopped him. Then he quiver and in the corner. Omega went for a hit. I believe he hit the one wing angel on John Moxley, and then that's when Don Callis went and spiked Omega with the screwdriver, costing Omega the match. Now my question is Don Callis part of the Blackpool Combat Club? Is he part of it, or this was just a whole thing? think that he got something personal with. So it looks to me something that should have happened in 2019, because I saw this in Canada, in Winnipeg, Canada, where Omega was in a match and Callis turned on him. But that was never followed because of the pandemic. Now we see, and I already saw this happening when the Young Bucks got beat up by Blackpool Combat Club in the back and they were taken in the hospital. Uh, Callis was trying to tell Omega, focus on the match. Don't worry about your friends. So I guess Omega was still concerned about his friend. Callis got fed up, and now it could be possibility that Callis may be the manager of Blackpool, the Blackpool Combat Club. But now my question is, what about Konosuke Takeshita? Because Callis been trying to get him to be part of the elite. Is he going to be part of the elite, or he's turning on the elite? And we could be seeing that on Double or Nothing. So we could see that. It's going to happen. I got to see it. And then we're going to see Mr. Kota Ibushi show up at AEW. We could see that happening. Quick stuff before I leave. New Japan at All Japan Pro Wrestling Noah all together again. It's going to happen June 9th. They're going to have their show. Already some matches set up. Hiroshi Tanahashi is teaming up with Kento Mijihara, Kaito Koyomiya versus Kano, Yuma Gaji, and Katsushika Okada. So I guess they're doing this whole thing. You're going to have the Ingobernables de Japón out there. You're going to see Bishamon, Yoshihashi, and Hiroki Goto. So there's going to be a whole mixture of wrestlers in that show. It's called New Japan, All Japan Pro Wrestling Noah, all together again. That's on June 9th. Also news, Matt Cardona finished with Impact Pro Wrestling. For now, Cardona had worked for Impact for over 2 years without a contract, and the company was hopeful that he inked to a deal that will guarantee dates, while Cardona was happy with the idea of maintaining the agreed upon dates, but preferred to do it on the same handshake deal and whatnot. And they had a prior. However, that wasn't made an option. So it looks like Cardona is done with Impact. Sammy Callahan, also from Impact, say he wants to face Minoru Suzuki at Impact, at New Japan, Impact and New Japan Multiverse United 2. That's going to happen in August. And in a recent interview with True Heels BTR, Callahan named Minoru Suzuki as the person he wants to face at this event. He says, Suzuki, people have been begging for it for years. We only ever touched in multi-man matches before, like the death matches versus Suzuki. I think the story writes itself, and that's money that's one of my dream matches. I pretty much had every dream match I want in professional wrestling, other than a couple of them. But Suzuki is one of them. The Death Machine versus the Murder Grandpa. That just needs to happen, and I will give my money for that, because I definitely want to see Sammy Callahan against Minoru Suzuki. That's gonna be sick, and I love it. I like that type of thing. But you know what I'm saying. But that is it for me, guys. I don't want to stay too long. There's not a lot of stuff to talk about this week. So again, if you want to follow me, guys, follow me on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. Those are my social media outlets. You can reach me. You could pretty much subscribe to the YouTube channel and check out other contents. I got tons of contents that you could check it out. Other stuff that I've done in the past, but check it out. Hit the notification bell for new uploads. Hit that subscribe button. Hit that thumbs up. That helps my channel a lot. I appreciate it. Also, guys, if you want to check out my merchandise, I got t-shirts, I got hats, I got hoodies, and you guys could check it out and whatnot. And you can see in the bottom screen of there go to tcwr.veryimpressive.com. And again, that's tcwr.veryimpressive.com. And you go and check out the website. And I got also, you can check out YouTube, the YouTube channel is there also as part of that. Also, my audio podcast. You guys, the one thing I forgot to mention, this episode will also be on audio podcast, so you could check that out. That'd be cool, and I would appreciate it again. Shout out to Mr. Justin Time 211 for listening and checking out this whole thing. Again, before I leave, he said interesting detail is Callis didn't show any signs of aligning with Blackpool Combat Club, so it's going to be interesting what the explanation is going to be. Yes, he's going to explain this Wednesday, so stay tuned on that. I want to see what he's going to say. But don't be surprised, Justin. He may join them because, you know what I'm saying, it looks like Bryan Danielson has been the voice of the group, and he's the one. Even though Danielson is great at the mic, but never know. But we'll see. But again, guys, I appreciate everything you guys done. Check out all my stuff again. The website, the store, tcwr.veryinkpressit.com. Check out my Facebook page, my Instagram page, my Twitter. I usually be more on Twitter, giving my thoughts and my opinions and whatnot. But and you can also find me on TikTok. You go to Chokeslam Wrestling Report at TikTok. So check that out also. So again, thank you very much for joining me today, and I will check you out next week and whatnot. I may have House of Glory. This next Friday is going to be here in New York City. House of Glory is back. We're going to see the Motor City Machine Gun, Matt Cardona versus Jacob Fatu. That's going to be cool. I'm definitely going to talk about that, and we'll definitely check you out. Till then, guys, please, again, subscribe to the channel. Until then, guys, I bless you and hope to see you next week.